Hey guys, it's Sadie, and I want to show you my new ion ray gun. This was the previous version that we were working with. This one we just got up to 16 kilovolts, and I have lesser power batteries in this one. I need to clean it up a little bit with the dremel. Um, so the thing about this is since it has the needle right there, and it is a DC circuit, this is not AC electricity. So this is the DC circuit. It's kind of like the static charger thing that you experienced in grade school. So if I have, this is one point right there, that's the ground, and that's the other point. So the whole point of this thing is you can see, that's the lightning strike detector in the other video so that will set this off. And then a couple comments about this. I want to put this in a smaller box and put an antenna on the lightning strike detector. We had lightning yesterday, but of course it was lost and the battery was gone, so I need to make it nicer, and I kind of want to put like a analog gauge on it and kind of clean it up and make it a little nicer and smaller. So that's the lightning strike detector, which these guns do work on, and I want to replace this wire with an antenna. So this is the new ion ray gun right here. I have a voltage meter right there, and I am using in here, I do have two of the 14500 batteries, which are like 3.7 volts. And it's nice because those have a good voltage and they're not too small. They're not as small as those right here. These guys, see, those are the 3.7s. These are the 10440s. So those are equivalent to the AAA. These are equivalent to the AA and have the same concept of being 3.7 volts. So that being said, I could push this up a little bit more, but this one goes up to 20 kilovolts, as I will demonstrate here. So let's hook, I did find the high voltage meter right here, so let's see. This high voltage meter reduces the voltage by a factor of 1,000. So just hook this up on the needle. I could put more power into this little guy right here, and I think I might try that. I think it could take more power, more voltage. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and connect this, and then, oh no, that's not where it goes. It goes to this. Sorry about that. Okay, so, and then we got the ground going here to this one. So we got the ground there, and then the voltage stages right there. These are DC. The really interesting thing about these is these are DC power supplies. So here's the high voltage meter. I do need a better setup. Mr. Carlson would not approve of this. He'll never watch this video, I'm sure, but he definitely wouldn't approve of all this, especially this just sitting there, which I do want to measure the voltage on that, and I do have some diodes for the microwave transformer, and I do have two of these, so I was thinking of putting them together. I mean, that's going to be that's a lethal amount of electricity. If if I did hook that up to the mains. So that's another video. Okay, so let's see here. So there we go. It goes 1,000, 1,500. There we saw the highest was 15 kilovolts, 15.6 kilovolts. Yeah, 15.6 kilovolts with this setup here, and that's, you can see the spark on this one. I still like this little one. I need to clean it up. The reason this part is out because it was arcing. Of course, you're gonna have arcing. I need to get some like acrylic, like liquid acrylic stuff that you can mold and put in there, and that will be a game changer. Or a 3D printer. If I get into a 3D printer, or like some liquid acrylic that you can mold, and that would be definitely a game changer for my projects. So you can see that hissing. It wants to go. Oh no, I only have 2 minutes left. I'm trying to make these videos short, you guys, so I don't have there. So you can see there's, and you can right away I smell that fresh feeling, the ions. Oh, I wanted to point it at this calculator. Let's see if sometimes it'll mess up the calculator. Maybe if it has the ground on there. This one's not doing it too much. There's a timer. It's probably not the best thing to have bare feet and be in the laundry room next to the machines. So yeah, with this one, I know you might want to call BS on this, but so what this is basically, when I'm holding this, I'm going to make this ground right here a copper thing, but it doesn't matter, because if I was sitting in bed and I point this at something that's metal and let it run, like after a few seconds it will shock me, because it's charging me up, and you're pointing it at something metal, and because it has a point on it, charge is leaking off of it. That's the whole point of it. It's if you look at like the Van de Graaff or the Van de Graaff high voltage thing, it's every high voltage thing is rounded because you want to keep the charge. You want to keep the charge in there. Any points or little sharp edges leaks the charge off. So that's kind of like a capacitor that they're using in the air. Okay, so all right, we're at 9 minutes. Okay, and I have to show you the good one. Okay, stop timer. I try not to make these videos too long. I know that YouTube did a study, and the best video, the right sweet spot was 6 or 7 minutes. And you know I have problems with 6 or 7 minutes. I will go on and on and on and on and on. Okay, so let's just do this fast. See, I should have it all set up. Okay, so let's measure the voltage on this one. Now, right there, that's the voltage of my batteries. So when I turn it on, you can see this voltage plunge down as the batteries, as the current gets drained from the batteries to run it. So it's a nice little thing to have, that voltage meter. You don't necessarily need a current meter on things, or a watt meter. If you measure any metric, you're good. so I kind of like to measure the voltage. This is really nice, this little voltage thing. So it gives you an idea of how charged up that is. So I have multiple stages here. I cut this short on a couple stages, but we will go ahead and try and put this on there. So we got, here's the ground on that stage. So there's batteries in there, a switch to that, and then the batteries. I have them in a series. You could put them in a parallel if you had two more of them to push this little transformer a little bit more. And what I was going to do, guys, is get more of these. If I had 2 or 3 of these stacked up, we could get really nice, we could get 50 kilovolts, 60 kilovolts. It's probably, I'm probably just going to end up being immune to being shocked by these things. It is like a static electricity shock. It is like the paralyzing shock, similar to the stun gun, which just does the pulses. That's just pulses. So that's more like an AC unit right there. But that will get the job done of paralyzing your cells from, it will kind of just blast them so they can't communicate, your muscle cells, so you kind of just fall down and to disable the people with the guns. Okay, so we got that. We got 805 volts on there. Oh wow, you can see it kind of messing up the display. Oh wow, that's not good. Okay, there was 17. Did you see that? 19 kilovolts and 950 volts. 19.95. There it goes. Almost to 20,000 volts. 19 kilovolts and then 908. 20 kilovolts, you guys. That's awesome. Oh, and I want to show you. Okay, so that's the measuring of it. But I do want to show you the spark on this guy. Because this, I just wanted to prove to you, prove to the internet that we were at 20 kilovolts right there. Okay, so, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yep, there's 20 kilovolts. And you can hear it hissing when it cannot discharge and connect. You can hear it. Why isn't it? Oh, there it's making the lightning strike. But that is so awesome. So let's do some more of the Sparkies with this. This is my new one. I'm gonna clean it up with the Dremel. Put some oh my gosh, it smells like the high voltage smell in here. Definitely smells like the high voltage smell. Okay, so I hope this doesn't damage my camera, so let's just go. See, look, you can see it move the wire. You can see it move the wire. Oh, I need to turn the lights off. Yeah, let me turn the lights off, guys. Okay.